Greetings to all, welcome to the channel SimTech05. In last video of the contact, I talked about the convergence error in Abaqus and mainly about the under constraint issue. So basically under constraint component is a component which is not fully constrained or which is not satisfy the constraint condition in general static analysis, and due to that it may possible the component, the free component can move in the space infinitely. That's why the convergence error occurs. So I got few questions on that on my WhatsApp, on my mail, like where we get those under constraint issues. Can you tell any example? So I selected few of example here, and those are very famous example and where we are getting the under constraint problem. So the first problem is 3-point bending. So here this plate is going to be bent, and those are the roller support. I am not going to model and mesh and defining material and property, just I want to tell you the issue, the under constraint problem. So after modeling, let me tell you what are my parts. So those are the base roller, or we can say supports. Then we have one steel plate, that is the flexible plate. Base rollers are made of rigid component, and this is the tool, this is also rigid component. So after that I assign property, I make assembly and step. In step I define here general static step with non-linear geometric options on, and time is 1 second. Then I go on for some interaction definition. In interaction I mentioned here two interactions, two contacts. One is between the base roller or support and plate bottom, and I checked on this options here, adjust only to remove overclosure. That options meaning I already explained in my previous videos, please go through them if you don't know. Then again the contact between the tool, or we can say the component which is going to be press my plate and between the plate. So here also we have interaction definition and adjust options is checked on. So we are not using here any tied options or anything like that we utilized in previous video. So I am going to cancel, just dismiss, and now go for loads. This is the important step here. Okay, so in general what we have to define, we have to define here displacement of the tool, and these two things, these base rollers should be fixed, that's all. And let me show you, I defined here. So this is the fixed base. We have here one reference point for the rigid component. So on that reference point I have Ancaster options, means all degree of freedom for the base component is fixed. And here I defined this tool also as a fix, but in the second step, in bending step, I modified the parameters and put the displacement as -1, okay, in the y direction. So just click on dismiss and just go with mesh options. Okay, meshing also I done, but in the meshing little modification I made. Why? That contact area should be analyzed properly. If you have large number of element, or we can say dense element in the contact region, better result accuracy you will get. So after meshing you have to go with the job. Okay, I already created two jobs here. I just going to delete and going to create new job, that is the bending problem. And here we have 3-point bending model. I have number of models here. So from all the models I am using here this 3-point bending model, and just define here parallelization options and click on 12. Those are number of processors, and click on submit. So what you will think, will the simulation complete? See, all things we define properly, but here we have one issue, that is the under constraint issue, and that's why my simulation going to be either wrong or it will be abort. Let's see the results. So let's see, somehow software able to manage convergence, but results are not accurate. Okay, I already simulate this, that's why I know very well, and just click on results. Okay, so this is my results, and click on displacement value. Okay, now you can see this plate component is not constrained along z direction. Okay, it is constrained, of course it is constrained along y direction. Let go with first frame. Okay, it is constrained along the y direction because of this roller support and because of this tool, but it is not constrained in the z direction. That's why what happening, somehow software able to manage the convergence, but when I go for increase steps, what will happen? This component, this plate component move freely in the space. Okay, along which direction? Along z direction. Okay, so this type of problem also consider as a under constraint issue, and that will be completely wrong. Okay, many times software will abort the simulation, but this time software able to converge solution for few of increments, then it will be aborted because solution is not going to be correct. So I am going to kill it manually. Just click on kill and go with the dismiss. Now we know where is the problem. In many cases software directly abort the simulation, so many times it happen we don't know which component in the assembly is going to be under constraint. Okay, so we have to check it manually. Just go for here loads, and as we know this component we have to restrict in the z direction, or motion of this component we have to restrict in the z direction. So just go for constraint, create constraint, and say plate BC, plate boundary conditions, displacement, and continue. Okay, so now question is which edges I have to select, or which faces I have to select, or where I have to define this constraint. Of course you can define those faces, okay, as well as these faces. In these faces you can restrict the z degree of freedom, but what I am going to do, I am going to choose this particular edge. Okay, this edge, and on this edge I am going to restrict z motion as well as x motion, because when this plate is going to be bent, this particular line is going to be draw only in the y direction. It is not going to be move in x direction and z direction anyhow. Okay, so that's why I am selecting this edge, click on done, and going to restrict degree of freedom in the x direction as well as in the z direction. Okay, now click on OK, go for dismiss. Now go with job options, save the file, click on job and click on submit. Now again we will check the simulation results. Click on monitor. Okay, maybe due to the overclosure issue, software unable to make attempt in the first increment. That's why it is going to be reduce the increment size and converge the solution. Now the solution going to be very smooth, and it is done. Okay, very easily software able to converge the solution. Now click on dismiss and let's see the results. Click on results and now go with the contour options. So now we can see, and let me hide the meshing also. Just go with feature edges. Okay, and very beautifully software manage all the relationships. And now click on play the simulation. Okay, so in this way you can make under constraint problem as a fully constrained. So just go for pause this simulation. This was the first example, and let me show you the another example. Just go for assembly. So here we have number of models, and second model is embedded example. Okay, when we have embedded contact problem, mainly this type of simulations we have to perform in the civil engineering, where we have number of studs, those are embedded into concrete slabs, and maybe you have bars that are embedded into concrete slabs. Here we have few studs, and let me show you those studs. Just go for hide options and hide instance. If you not on the instance, just choose the instance and select this particular instance, which one, that slab, and click on done. So now we have here some studs, those are connected to the beams and merge within the slab. Let me show you. Just go for a standard view, go for wireframe mode, and now you can see those very clearly. Okay, those are connected to the beam but merge into the slab. So for those type of component, what generally we do, we just go with here mesh options, click on part, and let me mesh the component. Whatever default element size I have, I am taking, okay, 320, and let me delete all the predefined seeding. Just click on done, and now click on mesh. Okay, yeah, component is meshed. Then go with the stud options. It is already meshed. If you want to mesh it again, you can. Now go with the main beam, and this main beam is meshed with the predefined elements. Now click on assembly. So when you go in assembly and look at the stud and the beam, there will be problem. What problem you are facing? See, just hide this instance again, and let's see. Just go for zoom in. See, of course this stud get any contact with respect to those element, okay, within the default tolerance of the tie. But what will happen about this stud? Okay, see, the element node for the beam component exists here, and element node for the stud component exists within this particular circular area. It may possible the defined tie connection is not exist within this tolerance, and this component will able to move freely in the space, and again it will be create a under constraint problem. Similarly this component, similarly this component, similarly this component, these all stud may create a problem of under constraint. So what is the solution? Simply you have to split your beam from here, from here, from here, that exactly one node of the beam element intersect the node of the stud element. Okay, so this is the second example. I am not going to show you any results for this component. And the third example, that is also very interesting, the gravity loading. As in my earlier videos, I already told you that gravity loading is not valid for general static analysis. Why? There are two reasons. Okay, because in general static step we are not going to consider the inertia effect. This is the first thing. And the second thing, let me see first what type of step we have. By default here we have dynamic implicit. Just go with replace it with general static step. Okay, and increment of 0.1. Okay, no need to go with check on this options, non-linear geometric options. So this is my general static step, and when I define any type of loading, here we have two type of loading. One is constraint from these two ends. Likewise this plate is constrained from this end and this end, and gravity load is applied. So when you click on the gravity load, by default amplitude is ramped. It's mean the amplitude will be increased linearly throughout the simulation time, but it's not a actual case in inertia. In dynamic analysis, the gravity should be applied instantaneously. Okay, that's why this is the inaccurate modeling. So again I am repeating, first, inertia is not going to be considered in general static analysis, and the second thing, this type of ramp loading for the gravity load is not good. So just cancel it, and let me try to simulate it first. Job, and click on create new job, job with gravity loading, and the model is gravity model. Click on continue and define the parallelization options, 12 processors, and click on submit. Okay, already exists, doesn't matter for us. Now click on monitor and you will see there will be error. So we got the error and solution is aborted. Why we are getting this error? Because in the general static analysis we need the static equilibrium of the system, not the dynamic equilibrium of the system, and this component can't be statically equilibrium. Why? Because we don't have inertia. Who will restrict the motion of this particular component? Okay, so dynamic equilibrium can't be achieved in general static analysis, but we need what here? We need here dynamic equilibrium. So what we have to do? We have to go with the implicit dynamic or explicit dynamic step. Again, this is also comes under constraint problem, because our component, this particular component is not fully constrained. Just click on here, step, replace this particular step with the dynamic implicit step, click on continue. Okay, define the increment. Yeah, initial increment I is suggesting 0.1, maximum number of increments, and this is the minimum. Maximum will be considered by the software automatically. So now it is the dynamic implicit, and click on job. See, now we are inserting dynamic equilibrium in the modeling. Okay, so for every increment the component, or we can say for every iteration the component is in dynamic equilibrium and simulation can be run. So if you have this type of problem, gravity loading type of problem, I always recommend to go with the implicit dynamic or explicit dynamic. Ultimately dynamic simulation. Click on monitor and let's see. Okay, somehow software unable to manage attempt for few increments. That's not a big issue for us. Now simulation is completed and let's see the results. It happened many times. It happened in the implicit dynamic because the computational complexity in implicit dynamic is little complex. So just go with results and go with the final frame, and let's see the results. Just play it. So we can see here the component or the ball is falling on the steel plate and some stresses will be generated and dynamic equilibrium is achieved for the each increment. So in this way we can say we have under constraint problem, and we can sort out those type of under constraint problem by making them fully constrained, sometime by tie options, sometime by changing step if our modeling required to change this step. So those are very common example, very demanding example through which you can very easily understand where we have under constraint issue and how we can deal with those under constraint problems, under constraint issues. So hope you will get clarity about under constraint examples. Under constraint I already explained in my previous video. I highly suggest to go with that video. I also recommend to go with my all video of interactions. If you are dealing with the contact and interactions, if you are facing problem in the abacus about the interactions, I highly recommend to go with that playlist. With time I am uploading number of videos in this playlist. Of course, I am taking too much time to upload a video, 15 to 20 days, sometime 10 days, because I have a constraint of time. But surely you will get lots of about the interactions from the playlist. I also recommend to go with abacus playlist. There I explain lots of things: linearity, non-linearity, hourglass, shear locking, implicit, explicit, general static step, quasi-static step, and lots of. So thank you for listening. I also have one Facebook and Telegram group. Link is available in description. If you want to join, you are most welcome. Thank you again.